G'day, this is Tanya from South Africa. Welcome back to my 6th episode. Please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to get the notifications. So in today's episode, we're going to have a look at Paul Kruger and Senior van Rensburg and the grave sites and some pictures of them. Okay, you need to go watch my previous episode first regarding the Freemason signs and symbols in order to follow what I'm talking about in this video. So in short, before and during the Boer War, many of the Boer leaders was Freemasons. When the First War started, there were some issues with conflict of interest, as many English leaders had partaken in the wars was in the same fraternity. The Boers approached the Grand Lodge and obtained permission to have their own lodges, which was called the Boerelosies, where only Boer members was allowed. It was approved and the Boers then founded the Netherlands Constitution. After the Second Boer War, no more new lodges of this kind was established and the English lodges expanded countrywide. Till today, the Boerelosies still exist. For the same conflict of interest reason, it was also decided before the Second Boer War that the members' identities should not be made public. I believe the list of Afrikaners who was Freemasons in my previous video thus only includes the names before this decision was taken. We have to bear in mind that the people of the days in the 1900s had a whole different idea of Freemasonry compared to what it is seen to be today. In a nutshell, they most definitely did not believe it was an evil organization and they were serving pagan gods as assumed by many today. As a matter of fact, all these leaders believed in their souls that they were God-chosen nation and had absolute trust in God's protection, as was with the Battle of Blood River. At the start of 1879, the Netherlands Constitution had 3 lodges in the Transvaal, which was the Aurora Lodge at Pretoria, the Flaming Star at Potchefstroom, and the Orange Lodge at Rustenburg. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the pictures. First, I'm just going to show you some handshakes of Paul Kruger that I found on social media. This was like a hand-drawn sketch by someone I seen when he arrived overseas. This was a front of a paper. Okay, and I'm just going to show you some other pictures that I found. As I referred to in my previous video, make sure you look at the hands and the feet in the different pictures. Quality of this one is a little bit bad. This is the same picture, just a bit more clearer in a sketch form. Okay, this is the typical one where you can find a lot of the Boer leaders that were standing next to a table with a hand on the table. Okay, now let's move to his gravesite. So this picture is a recent picture today that I also found on the internet. This one is just a bit further out. I believe there was some plundering around this grave as well, and it was fixed. Okay, so what's interesting now is I found some very old pictures, and I pick up something that is not in the current pictures today or at the gravesite anymore. If you look at this, you will see firstly the way it is built. It's in the form of the I think the obelisk, as they refer to it, or the triangle-ish style. Then you will see there's two pillars next to the grave that in the recent pictures is not there anymore, which I assume they were stolen and never replaced. And there is just another one that I found, very old pictures, where you can also see the pillars. Okay, now let's move to Sinar. Okay, I couldn't find a lot of pictures of him. And just one where he's also standing next to the table. So if I understand correctly, this symbolizes putting your hand on the Bible as they do in the lodges when they make some oaths. Okay, then on Sinner's gravesite, you can also see the two pillars here that stood out for me. And then I found this little symbol here, which I explained in my previous video. So just kind of have a look there so you can understand properly. So this is the symbol that's used. It's either like a crown or sunbeams they refer to. And then this little tool of a trowel that's often used in Freemasonry as well because of the building and whatever. So you will see this shape is also very often used on the grave sites. Okay, so that's about it for the pictures that I have. All right, so why is this important? Well, it's simple. Only a Freemason could manage to keep a secret like the Kruger millions for over 120 years. It also means only a handful of people knew the exact location, and the factual knowledge will hence only come to light by distant Freemason descendants. It also came out recently in a book published, Looted Gold, that a big hoard of gold has not only been buried in South Africa during the war, but also have been transported to Switzerland long before the war. Someone, according to the book, must still have access to these vaults holding gold bars and who knows what else. So in my next episode, I'm going to talk a bit about some new versions that came up, which I found especially in the 7 Lost Trails of Africa and Looted Gold. What's very interesting for me about the 7 Lost Trails in Africa is the writer of this book was written in 1930, and the writer managed to have some interviews with people who lived during the Boer War. So a lot of the version comes up in his book, but it's very different. And then the looted gold, I will also make a little sum up of what came up there and what was interesting for me. All right, thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.